from Lower Country, from Maryland. Follow you from Rewa says. I'm a bad and we own young people. I walk on the fine way. Tabila, Kriwako, I love Liberia. Oh yeah, yeah. Free land on liberty, Liberia. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, I love Liberia. Oh yeah, yeah. They play for me and you, Liberia. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah.
I was raised in the slum, but I chilled with my guns. Kept it on the low, but we fought for the bones. True son of the soil, I'm a prince in my own. Never gonna lie, me, I love LIB. Even though it's far, when we show we can face it. It's not a prophecy, I know that we can rise again. Holding my hand, I holding your own. United, we stand, divided, we fall. You know what I say when I come with ball. When I chill on that side, and I get no bro. I got L to the O to the V and the E. If we fighting together, we can conquer this team. From the east to the west, then waving the flag from the north to the side. Yeah, I'm joining the team. You go where you pella, you love my crown. Who get it? Who got shown?
I love Liberia, oh yeah, yeah. Free land on liberty, Liberia, oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. I love Liberia, oh yeah, yeah. They play for me and you, Liberia, oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah.
Mama was born, yeah. Papa was born, yeah. They hold us together, the honey boy, yeah. Nabali kena koya bake na papa kobo. Nabali kena koya bake na papa kobo. Nabali kola kobo na papa kobo.
We want to welcome you to another fresh edition of the program Open Conversation. Today is the 1st of August, the beginning of a new month, and I promised to have a spirited conversation this evening. We are good. And this is how I would like to say welcome, fellow Liberians. This is a 2-hour current affairs discussion on ELBC 99.9. My name is Washington Tappet Jr. And my host is
Titi Jibro.
Titi, I want to use this time to say good evening and welcome.
Thanks for welcoming me to Open Conversation. Like you said, it's good to be here, the beginning of another new month, another month of the year, August. And God has blessed us to have another opportunity of life. And that's something that we're not taking lightly because without the grace of God, none of us can be around today. And so we are grateful and we are more energized to begin a new month. I think I saw like 70 more days to election.
Oh, yeah.
So we're getting more closer to the elections that are supposed to take place in October of this year. These are very big events coming up in our country because a lot of people are participating and it's about our country.
Exactly.
But it's good we're here and let's always, as I say, keep the conversation very silver because Liberia is, people will say our common denominator, whatever side you find yourself on. The fact of the matter is you are a Liberian, I am a Liberian, and Liberia comes first.
Exactly. So Liberia comes first. This is how we commence the conversation. Now, we just want to bring you up to speed with what's happening tonight and the guests that will be on the platform. Titi normally does that, so she will do it again.
That wouldn't be a problem if you did that tonight.
Oh, okay. So, tonight we are going to be into District 13 politics. So we are going to have the former Transport Minister daughter, Colinius Kratupa. Yes, she's going to be here. She's going to be invited today to discuss District 13 politics, and we're also going to have Mr. Solomon Chipo Sr., the son of the former Chief Justice of the Republic of Liberia. So it tells you how energetic and how strong the discussion is going to be this evening. So, fellow listeners out there, we have a very, very spirited conversation coming up this evening with District number 13. This is about time the Liberian people, particularly in these different districts, have got to understand, have got to realize, the people wanting to lead, to serve, what they bring to the table and what they are able to deliver. So tonight, Colonial Akwa Topa will be making her case, and Solomon Chipo Sr. will also be making the case of District number 13. So those of you listening, viewing, whatever means you are using to, get this discussion tonight is going to be Liberia and District number 13's night tonight. So this is where we go, and right after here we enter into trending issues. Trending issues is what is part of this platform. Trending issues comes on. We talk about the trendings of the country for like about 30 minutes. We open the lines and we take few calls, and right after that our guest will be prepared. So can we look to Madam Jibro to see what we have for trending issues?
Okay, before we go to trending issues, I just wanted to I was looking at the list of candidates who are contesting in District number 13 in Montserrat County.
Okay.
It's a full laundry list. And like you said, we're just talking to two of those people tonight, and the possibility is that we will still talk to other contestants or aspirants from District number 2, because I see here District number 13, I see Cooper Willett Cooper, Solomon Chipo, Patrick G. Eastman, Edward Flomo, and Edward Flomo is the current representative of District number 13. I see Sano Sis Keita, Gaidu Canada, Colinian Kuratopa, who we'll be talking to this evening, also Oscar Meno, Amos K. Dawuya, and Abraham Sirleaf. So these are people, and I'm a little bit confused because I see another group of people here, but then I see, I'm not too sure. It still comes here with District number 13. I see Wilmon Smith. It's kind of confusing because I see Yeke Kolba.
It's confusing. It's confusing.
And I know Yeke Kolba
is not in District
number 13. So I don't know whether there was some mistake here. But let's deal with the first list that I called. And so, so we'll talk to these people. We'll try to get in touch with more of the people who are contesting in these districts, the ones who, are available. We'll talk to them. When the others are available, we will also talk to them, because it's incumbent upon us to quiz these people. You have to hear from them what they want to do for you and why they want the incumbent lawmakers unseated and them taking the stands. So it's important for us to listen. District number 13 is under the microscope this evening. But like you said, let's go to what's trending in the country today from our end. Well, we know that should this be the last or the first?
The conversation.
The arrest of Vivian.
Yeah, it should be the last. It should be the last. Yes,
right. Okay.
Yes.
So last night there was this video on social media, this leaked audio on social media. I don't know whether I should call it leaked audio or not, but that had to do with Senator Prince Johnson, and he himself, I don't think he liked what he was listening to, and he had a press conference today. He didn't deny that what we were listening to was his voice, but he said that the tape was dotted. So they took some his voice, a piece from another audio that he talked about very, condescending way he spoke about, and he admitted in his press conference that he was speaking about Senator Yombly Kanga Lawrence when he appeared on one of these social media shows. I think whether it was the closing argument or one of these shows he appeared on, and he spoke that way about his so-called rescue mother now, and he says they have smoked peace pipe. But at the time, he was angry because he was asked a question, and he spoke about Senator Yomli Kanga in that very condescending manner. And that tape, according to him, it was doctored. They took a piece of that bad way he spoke about Senator Kanga Lawrence, and then they joined it to another part of his voice. And in that tape that they put together, he was it made him sound like he was referring to Jeremiah Cohn as a person who is not fit for the vice presidential seat, and he's very disrespectful, and he cannot be a vice running mate. And so he had the press conference today saying that the tape was doctored. One thing he didn't deny, that it was his voice. He said he spoke that way. He agreed it was not a good way he spoke as a pastor and, a leader, but they've smoked peace pipe, according to him. What else happened today? Tewongonglo, who is the standard bearer of the people, is it the People's? The Liberian People Party. Okay, the Liberian People Party standard bearer. He did something very unprecedented today. He paid an unannounced visit to few of the political party headquarters, and he was received in a wonderful way, according to him. And he says that what he was doing is in the spirit and true essence of the Farmington Declaration, because when we're going to elections, it's not about war. We have different ideas, but we are still Liberians, like we always say here. And I think that was a very good move on his part. And it was a good thing that all of the parties he visited, we didn't hear people, saying anything, any unbecoming thing to him. He was welcomed because I watched him at the Unity Party headquarters. He visited the CDC first, the headquarters of the Coalition for Democratic Change. He thanked the partisans because of the warm welcome they gave him at the CDC headquarters. And I'm told that is the first time, a political party leader, unannounced, the CDC headquarters. And so it was something good. He left and went to the Unity Party headquarters. And then he went to, what is the party from Moniba?
The Moniba's party is the...
Lino, right?
Lino.
Okay. So
Liberia National Union.
So he visited Lino also. And I think it was a good thing. And he spoke well and he was received well. I think, that was a good part. That was the right step in the right direction on the part of Councillor Gonglo to visit these party headquarters and to just show that union and say to them that we're all Liberians and we must, as we go further, closer to elections, it's important that we keep the peace and we continue to remain engaged, but not, to assault one another, but in a very constructive way. And we say, hats up to Councillor Gonglo for that.
Like you said, Titi, is actually unprecedented. The last time we had this kind of conversation here, and we said, despite, or in spite of the political difference, the political ideologies, regardless of the fact that we do not share the same political template, the same political platform, that doesn't negate the fact that we cannot extend olive branch to one another. We cannot, smoke the peace pipe. Politics is the expression of different ideas for a particular political goal. So the fact that you're sedition, and I must really admire him. I must give him all of the necessary, personal and political acclamation. I must do that. Look, to see a political leader taking up his time. When was it the last time you've ever seen a political leader go on, a different political institution headquarters, unannounced visit? And he went there. I saw the men chanting battle cry. I saw him speaking to the people, Munya, CDC, Munya. And I was like, you can imagine it is Tier 1 who is doing this.
No, it wasn't surprising to me. For me, it wasn't surprising because that's the character he is. For me, it is not. What I loved about the reception he got. What I loved was the reception he got from these, political party headquarters. That he went there, even though he didn't announce his visit there. That is something. That is the character. Councillor Gonglo is. He's a peacemaker. He's a very
It's a unifier.
yeah, he's a unifier. So he went there, and I like the way they received him. And I must say kudos to them, to those the people who were at
Yes.
their party headquarters. And we issued into at 8:30.
Sure, issues. So yeah, today so let's just bring this one in and we talk about our last stuff today. Musa Ability was able to blame the Unity Party. There was a press conference held at the Liberty Party or the CPP, however you may call it. He blamed the Unity Party for being heavily involved into, the crass. I mean, he blamed the Unity Party, right? I think that's a Unity Party for being heavily involved or entrenched into what is happening within the Liberty Party. He said those folks in the Unity Party, are the proponents of violence in the party from the Unity Party that is causing the political instability in the Liberty Party, for which the Liberty Party and Yombi Kanga's faction, have not been able to sort out the political disagreements and differences in their party. And he said something he said in the press conference today. He said the Unity Party are a risky people and desperate for power. And I think the SG came up today and condemned what he said it was groundless, and Musa Ability is a distraction and he should not be giving any attention. But Musa Ability made a claim today in the press conference. Something he said. He said that he was giving a communication. That communication was a resolution. The resolution to be able to sign that resolution 20 hours before his inception as national chairman of the Liberty Party. 20 hours to sign that resolution, making Joe Bwaka the standard bearer for the collaborating political parties. So it tells you that this thing came from a long way. So he refused to sign that. He actually refused to sign it. And I think it is from the backdrop of that point, the Unity Party have infiltrated into the Liberty Party and has fragmented the Liberty Party to an extent where the entire Liberty Party has been polarized, and they are having this kind of issues of settling. The political rival is still in the Liberty Party. So he said the Liberian people should not give attention to the Unity Party. The Liberian people should know that the Unity Party are risky people. They are how you call it? They are, you use the word, desperate people, and they should not give attention to the Unity Party.
It's UP Unity Party versus Liberty Party, and the story continues. And they don't seem to be, any option that is about to resolve their problems. So it's like they're going to be back and forth at each other's throat as we go to elections and even up to election day. So let's, we'll keep watching what they're saying.
Mm-hmm.
They're just going to be accusing each other and every day. We know yesterday some folks refused to join the Amblikanga faction of the Liberty Party, mm-hmm. and they've gone to the Liberty Party, the Musa Ability faction. And so it's take for tack. We'll be watching, the Liberian people are watching to see and know the better alternative. If that's what they want, fine. We'll see what happens when we go to elections. So let's go to our final story. And then
I think our guest is already here.
We conclusively conclude on that before we open the lines. Police in Monrovia have arrested suspect Vivian Dent. Says she will be duly investigated and charged and forwarded to court on the basis of probable cause. That's according to police spokesman Moses Carter.
Yes.
So Vivian, I don't know what got over her. I listened to her. She was on Facebook yesterday. There was another lady who had a Facebook talk yesterday. She was live on Facebook. And Vivian placed in a call to her, and she was explaining exactly what happened and why she did what she did. But what got me laughing, and I tried to, I don't know what that is, but she said when she was asked, the lady asked her, well, why did you do what you did? Why did you beat up that young woman like that? And she says that the Liberian law says that when a woman stays with a man and a woman stay together for more than 5 to 6 years, they are deemed, married. What is that coming from?
From Vivian Constitution.
I'm like, what? Is that what the law says? That a lot of people are already married in this town.
Oh, yes.
What?
Oh, yes.
But the fact of the matter is what Vivian did is very, 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 unbecoming of a woman, because we all know that the society we live in is very, people are not, we say we're Christians, but we don't live by the principles of the Bible, because if we live by God's word, we will be having one man, one woman. But that is not something that happens in our society. And if she says, according to her, I listened to her, she said the girl's father is a pastor.
Yes.
And she on several occasions met the mother of this girl of Naomi, because she's only known as Naomi. We don't know her full name. But Naomi's mother told her that she should give her a week and she would talk to her daughter. She gave her 4 months. That did not happen. But all of the explanation she gives her no right in my mind to do what she did. She nearly killed that girl, because if the way they struggle for the scissors, if she had gotten hold of that scissors, we would have been discussing something different today. Exactly. And who told her that if you cut your
boyfriend?
No, if you cut another girl with your boyfriend, you have the right to brutalize that person. And the way she was kicking that girl and beating on her
stomach,
who told her that guy is going back to her? And then she was saying on the tape that I know he's not going to be happy, and he's going to disown me. Who told her that he's not going to?
Is she married?
Yeah, but her husband would disown her. Yeah, her 5 years living together, her husband will disown her because of what she did. And I like the way she even, consented to that. She said, yeah, but even if I was the one, say I would do the same thing that he's doing to me, because I would not want to identify with somebody who did something like that. So it's like she's confused. But for me, it's the brown suit. The same suit that she's on Facebook with, that we knew her by, is the same suit she wore today to come to the police headquarters. Did she want us to really know that she was the one who did what she did?
Yes.
But that is so mean, and and the saddest thing about it is that people, permanent people, will take to Facebook, and that's the sad thing in my mind, will take to Facebook and kind of heal what Vivian did. And one person who I was so disappointed in to the core is Calvin Gain Adams. She's a gospel musician. She takes to Facebook and put a very condescending comment on Facebook, and like hailing what Vivian did. And then when she got the bad blast, because people went for her, really, people did not expect that she would even put that kind of comment on Facebook. And then she came back to kind of justify, but her justification in my mind made no sense.
It was freaking.
Yeah, because you can do that when people look up to you as a permanent person in society, and somebody did that very cruel thing to another person. If that girl was your sister, you would never say what you said, concerning the whole episode on Facebook.
Yeah. You said it. Oh, I think our guys, our team. I think you have our team. Yeah, just give her a gist of that. Just give her a gist of that. Just give her a display.
This country will be arrested by the Liberian National Police. And so we have to say to all of those that are being concerned about what will happen with the video that went viral on social media, that justice will be served. You can rest assured that suspect then and any other person that is connected to the humiliation, harassment,
abuse of that Liberian female face will be made with the full weight. This administration.
Okay. Yes.
Administration Patrick Sudu.
Okay, so that was police
Serious.
spokesman Moses Carter there talking
Any
about
action
Vivian facing the
that is
full weight
meant
of the law,
Exactly.
and let's
to
hope that
demean
happens.
Exactly.
Nobody should do that. And the fact that she will even she videotaped herself and said Facebook will see us.
Very
What
good.
is that?
What is
Who
that?
does that?
Look, Titi, let me be honest with you. I was disappointed. Look, last night, my little sister came and said, "But Washington, you still watching the video?" I said, "I'm hurt." Look, I told the girl, I said, "I'm hurt. I am so disappointed in the way the minor and form in which this girl was being treated." Look, because she felt that she's structurally, good, and she's enlarged, and she got the strength, and she can overpower this girl so easily. So she had that courage to brutalize a girl like that. No, I want to say, our kids, this is time you show solidarity to that victim. Those of you who are loving mothers, this is time we want to see you flowering the social media with words of comfort to Naomi. Look, Naomi is in a situation of distress at the moment. Look, you can do that. And we want to appreciate the Liberian National Police. Let's appreciate the police. And if anyone, like Moses said, anyone who would take advantage of the video and make sure you make it to be a provocation to Naomi, you must be dealt with. It must be dealt with. It shouldn't be that way. Come on. Imagine, Titi, seeing your sister being maltreated, being brutalized. But someone who claims to say, because we stay 5 years together, or
so even if you have 3 children for a man, but you kill somebody because of that man, why would you even give that man that urge to think that he's so important that you would have to kill somebody because of him? What nonsense is that? Who does that?
Who does that?
Who does that? If the man, she's complaining that this guy is not giving her attention because of Naomi. Did your mother born you for this man? Must you?
It tells you that this Vivian girl is a very arrogant human being.
But even in all of her arrogance, you don't have to kill somebody for that. Why did why didn't she carry her aggression to the guy?
That's the physical application of her arrogance.
She said she called, and then the guy told her that he was somewhere drinking liquor, and she was in town. So why she didn't go to where he was? But then because she has the key for the place where they live, because they know her to be his girlfriend, and so she just marched in there and just decided to kill somebody. And what she did was, thank God, she put herself on Facebook.
She put herself on there,
publicly told the police that I am here about to commit murder. And so when anything happens, just you don't have to go anywhere. Everything is just there. So I wait to see how she's going to get delivered out of this. But This is just sad. And I don't think that's the way for us to go. If you're angry that your fiancé or your boyfriend did something to you, that brutal, way of behaving in our country, it should stop. It should really, really stop, because that's violence against your fellow female. Why would you do that? And if her man was doing that to her, everybody will go against the man. But then you take to Facebook, you go publicly, you put it on Facebook, you say, let me videotape myself killing somebody. How do you do that? Imagine you have daughters. What is going to happen if somebody did that to your daughter? Put it in your shoe. That girl with that kind of tiny body like myself, and she just saw herself and say, okay, let me just deal with this one, and nothing is going to come from out of it. But thank God she videotaped herself.
Vivian should be dealt with, and
we'll be dealt with.
We appreciate the police. And when Vivian is dealt with according to the law, nobody want to do what she did. She must be dealt with.
Okay, we're out of time. So let's just I will take just
3 calls.
3 calls on what's trending in our country today, and then we introduce our guests right here on the show.
So the numbers to call 0880.
This is not charged again and again. So call us on 0770 192696, and then you'll be live on Open Conversation. We'll take just 3 calls on this one, and then we are done. We'll move straight to our guest at 0.
I think we're good there, right?
Okay, 080-514-096 is the number to call,
Exactly.
and you'll be live on Open Conversation. Let me just take one call from here because this line is already. Good evening.
The call line.
Okay, let's see.
Our
This
call line
one
is
is
down.
good evening.
Good evening. Hello. 080-514-096.
Good evening.
Good evening, today. How you doing?
Good.
Yeah, thank you. This is Kwame everyone today. And I'll follow you from my ELBC residence.
Let's hear you.
You know, the big issue that you're discussing, you know, when I saw it, it was very, 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 very disgusting to me, you know, and I actually felt bad, and her action, you know, it is very much condemnable, and I think it should be condemned by all well-meaning, you know, people in this country, even all around the world. I don't think, and I don't even believe it, that women should treat their friend woman in such a manner. That girl behaved very, very bad. And I tell God, thank you, that police were able to apprehend her, and then the law should take a course in accordance how it's supposed to be. Thank you very much.
Thank you also for being a part of the program. Good evening. Good evening.
Good evening.
I don't think you're ready yet. Let's take this one. Hello. Good evening. Good evening.
Good evening. How are you?
Good.
Okay. Hello.
You are live, sir. Go ahead, please.
Okay. Thank you. Look, the ELBC is the national radio, right?
You don't have to tell me that.
Okay. So all of the messages that should be on ELBC should be national message.
What is that supposed to mean?
It's supposed to be, but to be using ELBC to be pushing party politics, I mean, it's really disgusting, right?
So what is disgusting about discussing party politics? Don't you belong to a party?
Oh, the ELBC belongs
Don't you belong to a party is my question I'm asking you.
So I'm asking you, is the ELBC belong to a political party?
Don't you belong to a party? When you answer me, then you can ask me your question.
I belong to a political party.
So why will you insinuate that ELBC should not be discussing party politics when you belong to a party and you listen to ELBC? So why are you insinuating that?
So are you
No. I ask you a question. Just answer my question. Answer my question, then you can ask me, sir.
No,
if you are part of a political party, why will you insinuate that we don't discuss party politics? Is my question.
So my answer is, are you using the ELBC?
You're not answering me. You're asking me a question. Question does not answer question.
Hello, I'm answering you with the question.
I'm sorry. You have to answer my question. You can ask me a question with a question that I've asked you. Good evening.
Hello. Good evening. Hi there.
Good. I'm good.
Yeah, my name is Shekin Kana.
Let's hear you.
Yeah, thank you for the discussion, though. One of the little issue myself, so I read about it, but looking part of it, of what she did. But my question is, if you're doing that thing to your friends, nobody will ever
But if you watch the video, you will hear somebody banging on the door. So she was doing it, and somebody was even knocking the door, but she didn't answer. She did what she wanted to do. It was a premeditated, stuff she did. She knew what she was going to do. Yes, the girl was in the house with her. She just opened the door, went inside, locked the door, and started doing what she wanted to do. People were knocking the door, but she didn't pay attention to that.
When they really loaded it, they think they shouldn't take it out of the things. It is very, very pure. It's very looking part of. You don't do that to your friends, man.
Okay.
Yeah, you look at the person, put it on Facebook, social media. You don't do that.
Okay, so thank you. No, it's not take for that. Thank you so much. Thank you.
You don't do that.
Okay, I know it's wrong, but that's not how it works. Thank you so much. Well, we'll take one final call and then we conclude on this matter and talk to our guests. Good evening.
Good evening, Titi.
Yes, sir.
Yes. This is Abby and I call from.
You have to lower the volume of your radio, please.
This is Abby Brown, and I call from District 13.
Let's hear you.
The action of Vivian is developed, is immune. And like others have said, that should be made to feel the full weight of the Lord.
Okay.
Deterrent is key. If we don't set precedent today, tomorrow young girls will learn to imitate the actions of Vivian. Mm-hmm. So I call on the Justice Ministry to the National Police to actually take actions against the young. Thank you so kindly.
Okay, thank you also for being a part of the program. He's our final call on this segment of the program. Sorry, we're not taking calls on this one again. And we will go straight into our discussion for this evening. The fact of the matter is, if you're from a different political party and you insinuate that we should not discuss party politics on ELBC, then I don't know where you come from. And you don't dictate to us as to whatever we publish or we do on ELBC radio. What we do should be for the people, by the people, of the people. And we are here on this radio. We have, incorporated every other political party, unlike in the past. Every political party voice is heard on ELBC. How do you insinuate that, we should not discuss politics on ELBC radio? You kidding me? And then when we ask you a question, you want to answer the question with another question. By the time you come on this radio, you have an opportunity to speak. If you don't speak the way you should speak, we will checkmate you. I can promise you that. Okay, so let's go straight into the matter. This evening, we have one of our guests in studio, the other Colenia Shubi, via our social media page. Is she on already? Okay, we don't have her yet. I'm sure she will join us soon. But Mr. Chipo, welcome to which mic are you on? Four?
It's four. Yeah, four.
Okay, four. It's mic 4. Okay. How are you, sir? Welcome to Open Conversation.
Thank you very much for having me.
Great. How is we go straight into it because we're already into your time now. Please tell us, who are you and your experience in politics?
Thank you very much. My full name is Solomon Chipo Sr. I am the political leader of Team Chipo in District 13. I'm canvassing for the position of representative. I'm also the CEO of a company in District 13 called 91 Bravo. It is a logistics company. When I resigned from the military in the United States of America, I came back home and started with a logistics company. And we've been working, with our people, trying to see what we can do to give back. And so here I am.
So you are a owner of a logistics company in District number 13.
Yes.
How many persons has that company employed?
Well, we started in 2018. So if we were to give you an estimate, we'll be looking at maybe at least over the time, something like 20, 25 persons. But we have had a lot of contractors because, to hire people nowadays, there are a lot of things involved, cash and stuff like that. So most of the residents of District 13 that we have been hiring to do stuff for our company, most of them have been contractors.
So you're in the private sector and you're running your own business. Why do you want to be a lawmaker?
Well, I was called upon. I was asked to do this. I was petitioned by the people in Chocolate City, and that was because I was advocating for corporate social responsibility in District 13 because you may be aware that when you begin from our community where the district begins, you will see we have the Semenco, we have the Seti Brothers, Duraplas, we have the National Pin Industry, we have a lot of companies. My district, the section where I begin, our district begins from, has one of the most industrialized section in the city of Monrovia. So you see a lot of companies making millions and millions of dollars down there, and there's nothing going back to our people. And those who are supposed to ask the right questions, they are not asking those questions. They are not saying anything. And the advocacy that is supposed to come from the face of the district, the people who are in position, there are a lot of cracks over the years that nothing has been done. So when I started that advocacy, I spoke to several communities and their leaders and asked, what can I do since I have a company called 91 Bravo, and I was born here. I didn't go anywhere else to open this company. I came back because the people who I live and grew up with, I thought it was important for me to do something in my weak way to empower them. Even if it is one person, it means a lot to me. So they said that maybe you can go about trying to do some little projects around to show, because in our country, when you are advocating for something, the question comes to you, okay, you have a company also. What are you doing? What have you done to give back to the people of District 13 where your company, is? And you are calling upon other companies within the district to say they should give back. So we were very much at the forefront of that advocacy, so much so that at some point we were petitioned.
Okay, before we go further, I heard you say that if you are a foot runner and asking other people to give back to their community because that's where they are, and you want them to own up to their corporate social responsibility, it's incumbent upon you who also have a company in the area to do you. So what's your own social corporate responsibility to the people? What have you done as an owner of a company?
Thank you very much. So like I said earlier, we did an assessment and spoke with the community leaders. The first person that I talked to was one of the former leader of the community where I reside called Coach Bond. And he told me the way to do it is you have to go down to the people themselves using something called the bottom top approach. Instead of being at the top and just say, okay, I'm just going to go and build a hand pump for these people as a way of giving back. Instead, you go back to the people themselves and talk to them. Talk to the women that are selling the coal, talk to the motorbike rider, talk to the people who actually go through the day-to-day affairs of the area that they live. And they will tell you that, hey, all of the numerous things that we face, these are the major challenges, and then you can tackle them. So 91 Bravo went ahead from roads, because we have dump trucks. We don't have to actually pay for it. Sometimes I myself jump in the truck with my military boots and go and get dirt to put on the road. We started this thing in 2019. So bridges, roads, community assistance when it comes to even breaker.
Bridges, how many bridges have you constructed in the district?
The major bridges, maybe something like 8, if I'm not mistaken.
Can you name the communities in which
in my community, Djibouti, there's a major bridge where I used to fishing when I was a little boy. Okay. I fixed that bridge. Okay. Quite interestingly, after I fixed it, something happened. There was a fire that caught on the bridge that I fixed. We don't know what happened, but we're still working on that. So also in Chocolate City, there is a place all the way in the back there. There is Humphrey Island. Also, there's Bolu Island. All of those places, the bridges, the plank bridges that we rehabilitated.
So those are plank bridges you're talking about.
That's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, let me hold you there. I think we've been joined by Madam Topa. Colinia Kuratopa. Ma'am, good evening. Thanks for joining us on Open Conversation.
We have a microphone. Is she okay?
Good evening, Titi.
Can you unmute yourself, please?
Good evening, Titi. Good evening, Solomon.
I think you're still muted.
No, I'm not.
Oh, microphone.
I think you're still muted. We're not getting you. Let me see.
Are you getting me now? It's unmuted from my side. Are you getting me now?
Okay, great. Yes, I'm getting you now. How are you, ma'am?
I'm fine, thank you. Good evening, Titi.
I'm
Good
fine,
evening,
thank
Solomon.
you. Titi, good evening, Solomon.
Yes.
Apologies
Okay,
for
thanks for joining us.
coming late.
As I said,
Apologies for coming late.
I'm having
that's
some
okay. It's
challenges with
better
my
late
internet.
than
I'm
never.
having some challenges with my internet.
Okay, I think you're good now. Let's go straight into it. So let's hear from you. Tell us who is Madam Topa, and why are you vying for the representative seat of District Number 13?
My name is Cornelia Kuratopa.
My name is Cornelia Kuratopa. I'm
District
a
13.
resident
I was born here.
District 13. I was
Raised
born
here.
here.
I am currently raising my family here.
I am currently raising my
I am
family
a
here.
former contestant for
I
the
am a
representative
former
seat.
contestant
I
for
first
the
contested
representative seat.
in
I first
2018 during the
contested
by-election.
in 2018
I will be
during the by-election.
recontesting this
I will
year's
be
elections as well
recontesting
for the
this
same seat.
year's elections as well for the same seat.
Cornelia
Why? Why are you contesting?
Cornelia is.
Please
I'm
go ahead.
contesting for this seat
I'm
because
contesting
I
for this
believe
seat
that the people of District
because I
13
believe that the people of
deserve
District
better
13
representation and leadership.
deserve better
I
representation
have
and
lived
leadership.
there for almost all
I
my
have
life. I have
lived there
been
for
able
almost all
to
my life.
live
I have
through the
been able
difficulties that
to
people within
live
District
through the
13 live
difficulties that
through.
people within
I
District
understand the
13 live
problems that
through.
we have
I
here.
understand the problems that
Myself
we
and my
have
team
here.
have been able to
Myself
work
and my
out what
team
the
have been able to
solutions
work
are.
out what the
We've been able over
solutions
the
are.
years to
We've been able over the
gather
years to
experience and the
gather
necessary
experience
network to
and the
provide
necessary network to provide
transformational leadership for our people, and
transformational
therefore
leadership for
that
our
is
people,
why
and
I am
therefore
vying for this
that is
position.
why
I'm
I
also
am
contesting
vying
this
for this
seat
position. I'm
as
also
I
contesting this
believe
seat
that it
as
is about
I
time
believe
that
that
the
it is
District
about time
13
that the
has
District
representation,
13
especially female
has
representation.
representation, especially female
Since the
representation.
establishment of this district,
Since
we've
the
not had
establishment of this
a
district,
female
we've not
representative
had
district. I believe that
a
women
female
lead
representative
differently,
district. I believe that women lead differently,
and because of the way that we lead in the kind
and
of
because of
transformation,
the way that we
long-term and
lead in the kind of
sustainable
transformation,
transformation that women
long-term and
leadership brings to
sustainable
wherever they
transformation that
serve,
women leadership brings
I
to
believe
wherever they
that it is
serve.
about time that I
I believe
also
that it is
put
about
forth
time
myself
that
to
I
be a
also
representation of the women
put
of the
forth
district,
myself
but
to be a
also the young
representation of
people
the
in the
women of the
district.
district, but also the young people in the district.
Okay. So you said your team and you have put together what you believe is going to transform that district. Can we hear what you've put together? Can the people of District Number 13 hear the alternative?
So the first thing, in order to discuss the
So the
alternative,
first
you
thing, in
have
order to
to
discuss the
identify what the
alternative,
issues
you have
are,
to
and I will
identify
do that
what the
side by
issues are,
side.
and I
So
will do that side by
currently,
side.
in the
So
district, as
currently,
a representative, you
in the
have
district,
three
as a
functions.
representative, you have three functions.
As far as we are concerned, and I'm sure
As
my
far
colleague
as we are
in
concerned, and I'm
studio will
sure
agree
my
as
colleague
well,
in studio will
is
agree
as
as
though we
well,
do not have a
is as
representation at
though
the
we do not
capital.
have a
The
representation
plight
at
of
the
the people of
capital.
District 13
The
are
plight of
hardly
the people
heard.
of District
We've
13 are
had
hardly heard.
several grades
We've
going
had
on for
several
legislators
grades
going on for
The District
legislators.
13 current
The
representative
District
has skills
13
in all
current
indicators
representative
of
has
the
skills in all
representation there at the
indicators of
capital.
the representation
We
there at
cannot
the
tell the
capital.
last time
We
that
cannot
we
tell
had
the last time
a
that we
district sitting
had
or report on what
a
is being
district
done
sitting
there
or
at the
report on
level
what is
of some
being
of the
done
flags that
there
we have
at the
had
level of
as
some
a
of the flags
district.
that we have had
And from
as a
our end, we
district.
believe that with
And from
our
our end,
knowledge
we believe
on the
that
issues
with our
affecting the people of the
knowledge on
district
the
and
issues
Liberia as a
affecting the people
whole,
of the district and Liberia
our
as a whole,
experience and legal
our
background that we
experience
have
and legal
that will
background
help
that
us
we
to
have
prefer laws
that
that
will
will
help us
benefit the
to
people.
prefer
We
laws that will
believe that
benefit the
we have
people.
an
We
alternative
believe
to
that
the
we
area
have
of
an alternative
representation
to
and
the area
lawmaking.
of representation
We've been
and
able to
lawmaking.
establish our
We've been able to
connections with the people
establish
of District
our
13 from as
connections with
far
the
back
people
as
of District 13
2018.
from as far back as
I'm one of the
2018.
candidates who
I'm
contested
one
in
of
District
the
18 and has
candidates who
remained
contested in
visible
District
and
18 and has
involved with the
remained
lives of the people
visible
here.
and involved with
And
the
that
lives of the
similar
people here.
commitment is something that
And
we're
that
going to
similar
take to the
commitment
capital.
is something that we're going
We
to take
also
to the
know that we
capital.
have
We
a
also
huge
know
gap
that we
in
have
oversight
a huge gap
responsibility
in oversight responsibility
from our lawmaker.
Lawmaker.
Currently, just to discuss the infrastructure, for
Currently,
example,
just
one
to
of the
discuss the
gaps, if you
infrastructure, for
go
example,
across
one of the
District
gaps,
13, you
if
have
you
that
go
you'll see that
across
we have
District
serious
13,
challenges,
you see that we have
road
serious
infrastructure
challenges.
in the district.
Road
Couple of weeks
infrastructure
ago,
in
you
the
have people
district.
from District
Couple of
13
weeks ago,
calling
you
on
have
different
people from District
radios
13 calling on
and
different
requesting
radios
that we intervene and
and
request the Ministry of
requesting that
Public
we
Works to
intervene and
intervene.
request the Ministry of Public Works to
Unfortunately, as at
intervene.
now, we are in the
Unfortunately,
opposition, so
as
we
at
cannot
now, we are in the
influence
opposition, so
any
we cannot
intervention from the
influence
government
any
besides coming
intervention
and
from the
speaking up against
government
it.
besides
But
coming
in
and
our
speaking
own
up
way, we
against
have
it.
been able
But in
to
our own way, we have been
intervene
able to
since 2018
intervene
by carrying
since
out several
2018
road
by carrying
reconstruction
out several
projects
road
from our office.
reconstruction projects from
Recently,
our
we
office.
made an intervention on the
Recently,
New
we
Jersey
made
Road.
an intervention
We
on the New
stopped our
Jersey Road.
interventions because of the
We
rain, but
stopped
we'll
our
be continuing
interventions
that
because of the
project
rain,
in the
but we'll be
district.
continuing that
So that
project
is
in
one
the
oversight
district.
that we think that when we
So
are
that is one
elected, we'll be able
oversight
to
that we think that
strengthen.
when we are elected, we'll be
District
able to
13 has
strengthen.
been a security
District
risk
13
for
has
the last
been a
5 years.
security risk for the last 5
Whenever you
years.
listen to radios,
Whenever
kapao
you
kapao
listen
in the
to
night, they are
radios,
listing
kapao
places
in the
where
night,
you
they are
cannot
listing
go.
places
After
where you
7, 8
cannot
o'clock,
go.
you see that most
After
of our
7, 8
communities in
o'clock, you
New
see that
Georgia, the
most of
Top
our
City,
communities, New Georgia,
the
the
battery
top
factory, those
city,
are places that are
the
listed
battery
as
factory, those
areas
are
that you
places
cannot
that are
venture
listed as
after a certain
areas that
hour.
you cannot venture after
We
a
know
certain
that
hour.
one of the things that
We
have
know that
contributed to that
one
is
of the
the
things that have
proliferation
contributed to
of
that is
drugs
the
in
proliferation
District
of
13.
drugs
Almost
in
in every
District 13.
community, you'll find a drug
Almost in
barrack
every
or a
community,
or
you'll
a
find a
ghetto.
drug barrack or a
And that is
or
not
a
only
ghetto.
snatching away the
And that
lives
is
of
not
our
only
young people
snatching
and their
away the
future,
lives of our young
but it has
people and their
made
future,
District 13 a
but it
criminal
has
den and an
made District
unsafe
13 a
area.
criminal sense
That
and an
is one gap
unsafe
that we
area.
have that we feel that we
That is
have
one
the
gap that we
alternative
have
for.
that we feel that we have
We
the
are happy that the
alternative
drug
for.
law has been
We are
passed
happy that the
finally
drug
and
law
signed
has
into
been
law by
passed
the
finally
president.
and signed into
And we're
law by
hoping that
the
when
president.
elected in
And
October,
we're hoping that when
we can
elected in
collaborate with the
October,
government through the
we can
TEA to
collaborate
find
with the
means
government through the
of
TEA to
raiding
find
District 13
means
of drugs and
of
also
raiding
providing
District 13 of
alternatives to
drugs
our
and
young
also
people
providing
who we
alternatives to our
believe are
young
now
people
victims of this
who we
issue of
believe
drugs.
are now victims of this issue of
Currently, I
drugs.
run a project called the
Currently, I run a
Drug Awareness
project
and
for the
Registration
drug
Education
awareness
Campaign. We've
and
been running that
registration
for about a
education
year,
campaign. We've been
where we
running that
work
for
with
about a year.
disadvantaged youth,
What we
encouraging
work
them to
with
enroll
disadvantaged
into
youth, encouraging
rehabilitation
them to
projects,
enroll into
but
rehabilitation
also getting
those who are willing to leave the street to enroll into our vocational training programs that we have currently in the district. On the 12th of this
How
month,
many
we'll be
persons are enrolled
graduating.
into that project?
On the 12th of this month, we'll be graduating about 240 women and young people in the district. Of that amount, we have about 10
Okay.
persons who are disadvantaged youth. On the 21st of this month, we'll begin our third cycle of our vocational training program for 500 young people and women in the district. On this Saturday,
Okay.
we'll also be
So
doing
let me
an
go.
scouting for talents amongst the young people, the disadvantaged youth, and we'll be having a street jam for them in order to identify some of the talents and hopefully encourage them into following developing those talents as opposed to remaining in those drug barriers and putting their lives at risk. So those are some of the things we're doing in 2013.
Great. Very good things you're doing in district number 13. But anybody will say that, okay, street jammery, we're going to elections. You see people who are vying for positions wanting to do these things because they will want to grab the attention of the young people. I want to hear about, sustainable stuff that you intend to do for the young people. Great. You talked about, women who you're giving skills to, but I hear you say that your district is a dent for drugs, and you're graduating just 10 persons from the institution you're running, disadvantaged youth. Approximately how many young people in your district you think are, disadvantaged, who are in the ghettos? And I still want to hear from you what you intend to do as a lawmaker. Were you to be given that position by the district, what do you intend to do differently from what's happening? I hear what you're doing with people, young women or older women in the district, but I want to hear, long-lasting solutions that you have. And I gave you 2 minutes to do that, and then I come back to Mr. Chipo. Madam Topa, are you hearing us? Well, I think she's having a little bit of problem with the internet there, and I don't think she's getting us. So let's come back to you, sir. You were naming, you were talking about the breaches you've made, you've constructed in your district, and you talked about corporate social responsibility and dealing with those companies operating in your district. What is it, were you to be elected lawmaker of that district, what is it you're going to do differently? How are you going to engage those people on behalf of your people?
Thank you very much for that question. Well, I feel bad before I can answer that question because I feel I wasn't afforded a long opportunity to explain. I could have stayed home myself and just read from the paper,
You think she's reading from the paper?
All the questions you
have a better opportunity now because we are face to face.
I agree.
Now
That's what I love to do.
Okay.
I always love to be face to face.
Now she can answer me because she's off.
So she should have been here. You invited every one of us here.
Yes.
As far as I'm concerned, maybe I'm a man, so maybe I heard something about female, so I don't want to be termed as.
Maybe you're a man, that's why what?
Oh, well, I don't want to feel. I don't want to. Can I say? Can I learn?
Go ahead.
Give me a chance?
Go ahead. Because you say I'm a man. Are you intimidated because you're a man?
No, I feel like when you invite people like us who are running for office to come to your studio to discuss critical issues and convince our people on as to why they should vote us. I think it is very important. That is an important issue. We should be able to come here and share ideas and disagree to agree face to face.
I agree with you.
But if we have a situation where, only one candidate comes in studio and then, other candidates are calling from, on the phone, and
I think my point is,
reading or something, and then I should have stayed home too. And then
it's up to you, but she has an option also because the show is online. The show is online, so I'm looking at her and she's talking to us also. So she has an option to either come to studio or stay home.
I didn't get that information.
Okay.
You didn't tell me that.
We're sorry about that. And you have, all the time now. So I don't think we should go back and forth.
No, I don't have all the time because I'm not sure.
I think your internet was
giving you an opportunity, but you're dwelling with
you have a better opportunity. So let's go ahead. Lead them out.
All right. Let me just quickly go back. Solomon Chipo, the incoming representative of District 13, has the biggest vocational training program in District 13 now. We just put out close to 100 graduates in soap making, computer literacy, and tailoring.
100 graduates.
Close to 100. I think it was like 88 or something like that.
Okay.
Also, when you look at our track record when we started, the current representative of District 13, we are the main force on his back to do his job, because all of the candidates that are coming now, I think I saw the preliminary listing there about like 17, if I'm not mistaken. We didn't hear about anybody until this election here. So when we come to studio, the purpose of which we're here is to be able to say why we are the better candidate than the other. That's why I'm explaining this. So nobody should say that I'm attacking somebody or not. The 4 major communities across the bridge, we just completed the flood project. There was the biggest drainage in between Jamaica Road, Basso Town, Sawmill, and Belima. We just did a project for that and clear the whole place, because usually during the rainy season, people's houses get flooded and they are like kicked out of the houses. They don't have nowhere to stay. So critical things like that. Looking in the face of whoever you are, you can be the president or Liberia. I'm on record for looking in the face of the president to tell him what he needs to hear, not to come on the radio or behind his back, like face to face. I am the fearless and outspoken leader of District 13. People who are talking now saying they are doing this, we can all come on the radio here and say we have done many things. There's no way to actually.
The people are listening. They know whether you've done something or not. So that
they're listening.
So the people will know. My question to you, sir,
I have not learned it.
So can you let's just deal with the issue?
Yeah.
I don't feel like I'm protected here.
Go ahead, sir.
Because you're dealing with the issue,
I want to deal with
other people.
I can deal. If it is important to me, I will deal with it.
Okay, go ahead.
You don't want me here.
Go ahead, deal with it.
I will not be. I will not be told what to do.
No, I asked you a question, and because we have asked you, what is it you're going to do differently? How are you going to engage those people? You talked about those companies operating in your district, and you said that is lacking corporate social responsibility. My question to you was, how are you going to deal differently with those people operating those companies to get something for your people? Was the question I asked.
We are going to ensure that we have a professional engagement with them to make them to buy the idea of why it is important for District 13 at this time, having had all of the bad experiences that we had with other people who were leading the district, and including the current representative. We're going to make sure we deal with them professionally to have them to understand that it is critical to have a district that we all can come together to help develop, because it attracts investment also. If you have a nice district that has been taken care of free of drugs, a district where they have minimum zogos, a district that we have, a good healthcare system, things like that, then that's a big step forward. Also, we're going to see what we can do about ensuring that we make it a mandatory requirement for big companies, not only in District 13, but the entire country at large, to provide development funding directly to the people. Because as it is, we hear most of the representatives, it's speculation that they go to these companies and just get envelope and that's it. They don't, keep up the engagement with them to make sure that when we have, serious projects to do, we can have this company coming in, we can write them, have them coming in and dealing with us as professional people, dealing with in a respectful way, because we are not going to them to beg them for chicken change or ask them for anything. When we ever want to engage them, it will be because of the interest of the community. I think
development funding. What does that mean?
Development funding. It means that we make a law to have big companies in every district provide some type of development funding directly to the people. Representatives and senators not going to have anything to do with it. As it is now, anything that comes is
when you say representatives and senators will have nothing to do with that, what do you mean?
I mean that as it is now, whatever most of the companies try to do, the current representative or representatives all over the country have direct contact with these companies. They listen to them, they tell them what they want, and they deal directly to them. In most cases, it is not objective. It is based on just coming there, and we don't see anything. There is no evidence to show to us, the benefits. Like my district.
You are the lawmaker for that district.
Yes.
You said there will be a law. What would the law say? How are those companies going to deal with the people and not the representative, as you claim is happening now?
The corporate social responsibility in Liberia now is based on how the companies feel. There is no strict requirement as to what to give, what specific threshold we should follow. Okay, if you are a multi-million-dollar company like Smenco, okay, at least you have been here for X number of years, you should be able to give us, a certain type of development. It will be specified. That's what I'm talking about. Instead, right now, when Smenco decides to do something for the people of District 13, it's just based on how they feel like. They can get up and say, hey, we're going to give $2,000 in scholarship, and that will be it. There is no, system in place that requires them to do a little bit of more of what we need to push our district forward. That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay, instead so there'll be a law for that.
Yes.
And if you're elected, you listen to Madam Topa, who talked about, drug addicts, in the district. Your district is not crime free. Were you to be elected, do you agree with her that the crime rate is high in your district and it needs attention?
I think so. I think the issue of the safety and security of the people of District 13. And
how are you going to deal with that as a lawmaker?
Well, first of all,
differently.
Based on my assessment, we have found that the safety and security of the people of District 13 is tied to the issue of drugs, especially drug trafficking in District 13. Okay. My district, I stand to be corrected, I believe is one of the most drug infested district in our country. And most of the time on the issue of drug, most of the time is always District 13. As you may be aware, we found 100 million in drug in my district, District 13. Also, lady that testified at the legislature, she said it happened when she found that drug in somebody's car, one representative car in District 13. The most accused individual when it comes to drug, as far as I'm concerned, in this country, who is a ranking member of the Liberian government, is the current representative of District 13. Every time it's always District 13. So that's why one of the first things that we're going to do when we take over is to be able to establish the District 13 Drug Task Force. That's going to be a setup that's going to work with the police, the DEA, and all of the stakeholders that are involved in helping.
What different work are they going to do? What is that task force going to do specifically?
When you are a leader in a district and something like drug abuse or something like drug trafficking is going on in your district, you have a responsibility to be at the forefront of that advocacy, not in the back.
What is this task force going to do if the people elect you and you're the lawmaker for that district? You say you're going to set up a task force.
Yes.
What is going to be the mandate of that task force?
The task force primary responsibility will work in ensuring that District 13 is free of drugs.
How are they going to do that?
They're going to work with the relevant state authorities, and they're going to receive resources directly from me, like cars, whatever that we can give them to ensure. We're going to have surveillance people in the communities.
What is stopping you from doing that now as an owner of an establishment in the district?
I have other things that I want to do that I'm doing now. Like my vocational school, it requires money to maintain that. So everything that I'm doing is a one man's pocket. I cannot do 50 things at the same time.
So whose pocket? How many persons' pocket you're going to be taking
It's
from
gonna
now
be
when you become a lawmaker?
It's gonna be the work of not only the Office of Representative but also other stakeholders in the the district, as well as international partners and people who we're going to work with to ensure that we have a success.
Okay, so let me hold you there, and I think Madam Toka is back on the line. Ma'am, are you hearing me? Madam Toka, are you hearing me? Okay, let me just stay with me a little bit, because I'm not you're not coming through. I don't know why. Just stay with me a little bit. Let me come back to Mr. Chipo. You say you formulated drug task force. So what else is it that you're going to do as a lawmaker to make your district a better place? I hear you talk about corporate social responsibility. I hear you talk about you have given your input when it comes to drugs and the district and what you're going to do. What else is it that the district lacks that you want to deal with?
I think we're going to also focus on education. I think the issue of building another school in District 13, we're going to advocate for that. If we even have to go the extra mile to ensure that we can raise funds to be able to start the setup for another high school in District 13, I think that's one of the things that I would like to look at when we take over, because as it is now, we have Gabriel Poulet, which cannot really accommodate a lot of students in District 13. I'm talking about parents don't have a lot of money to pay tuition and stuff. The request for scholarships is so high. I think one of the ways we can address the issue of education in our district is to make sure we have another high school.
A personal high school or government high school?
A government high school. We're going to ensure we advocate for that and then make sure we can hustle.
Having a government high school is not the thing, but when the government has a school in a place, the government has to also have teachers for that school. It's not something that can just happen like that, because the government also, it's incumbent upon the government, if she establishes a school in an area, to put teachers there. How do you think that is going to happen?
Well, the issue of education in District 13 is a very critical issue. Majority of our young people in District 13 are people who have dropped from high school because their parents do not have money. Most of them are unemployed. Most of them do not have any skill. That's why I have like this vocational school going on. So it is my position that the issue of education can be addressed.
Is that what the people say to you, that they need another high school?
Well, I
believe that they need it.
No, I don't believe, because I'm aspiring there. I live there. I have day-to-day activities there. I deal with them, and most of the things that we are advocating for is based on, like I said earlier, the bottom-top approach. So we listen to them. We hear most of their cries, most of the problem that they face, and this is why we're saying that those are the things that we're going to advocate for. Most of the things that we're going to advocate for is based on informed engagement, not Solomon Chipo just sitting down and say from the top and say, okay, I think they need this. No, they come to I'm the only one that have what you call an open accessible district office in District 13, right on the road, where I have the school, I have Team Chipo office every day. People, I'm the most accessible candidate. That's why it's very easy to come to me.
Okay, so what is the number of people who have registered in your district?
The total is around 46,000 plus between there.
Okay, let's go back to Madam Kura. I was not getting her. Madam Kura, are you hearing me?
Yes, I'm here. I was talking.
You went
I
off.
was backstage. No, I was backstage, so you won't hear me until I come on the show.
Oh, we're talking, and then I asked you a question, but then I couldn't get any response
Yeah,
for
so you
you
asked
from
a
you.
question about the
Yeah, so you
vocational
asked a
training and the
question
fact that
about
we had
the vocational
about
training and the
10
fact that
persons who
we
were
had
disadvantaged youth,
about 10 persons who
as
are
opposed to our
disadvantaged youth,
interest that we said we have
as
in the
opposed to our
disadvantaged youth,
interest that
correct?
we said we have in the disadvantaged youth, correct?
My question was, you graduated 10 persons. You were talking about your district being infested with a lot of, disadvantaged youth. I wanted to know approximately how many persons in your district you believe are disadvantaged youth. And do you think that, just graduating 10 persons is going to be the solution, or what is the long-term solution to the problem of your district or the problems?
So there are twofold solutions for
So
getting
there are
involved in
twofold
vocational
solutions for
training
getting involved
and
in
encouraging
vocational
disadvantaged
training
youth
and
to enroll.
encouraging disadvantaged youth
When a young
to
person
enroll.
gets involved
When
in
a young
work,
person gets involved in
they
work,
move from the level of being a
they move
presentable
from the
young
level
person
of
in the
being a
community to one
presentable
that
young
is
person in the
detached from
community
the
to one
community.
that is detached from the
And in our
community.
process of
And in our
rehabilitating them, we
process
cannot
of
just rehabilitate them
rehabilitating
and then
them,
leave
we
them,
cannot just
because they
rehabilitate them and
become
then leave
vulnerable
them,
again,
because
or
they become
adults, and still
vulnerable
go back to
again,
the same
or
habit that they
adults,
have.
and still go back to the same habit that they
However, if
have.
you deal with disadvantaged youth, you will know
However,
that
if
it's
you
a
deal with
huge challenge
disadvantaged
to
youth, you
get
will
them
know
to
that it's
leave
a
what we call
huge
their
challenge
habit
to get them to
and
leave what we
transition
call their
into
habits
what we
and
call a regular
transition
young person.
into what we
So
call a
our
regular
initial
young person.
engagement, we deal with
So
more
our
than
initial
10 gaps
engagement, we
and
deal
ghettos
with more than
across the
10
district.
gaps and ghettos
And for
across
those
the
areas, we
district.
provide scholarship
And for
slots
those
for
areas, we provide
at least
scholarship
15 young
slots
persons
for
per those
at
gaps.
least
But
15
it's
young
a
persons
challenge to
per
get them to
gap.
come to the
But
vocational
it's a
school
challenge
and
to get
remain
them
in
to
the
come to the
vocational
school
school.
and remain in the
So as a result of
vocational
that,
school.
we were able to
So
keep
as a
at
result
least
of
10
that, we
of
were
them
able
in the
to keep
vocational
at least
school
10
for a
of them
period
in the
of
vocational
3
school
months
for a
that will be
period
graduating. For us,
of
that is a
3 months
huge
that will be
gain.
graduating. For us, that is a
We hope that
huge
over a
gain.
period of time, that number
We
will
hope that over a
increase.
period of time, that number
And that is
will
why we are
increase.
engaging with them through
And
other
that is why
means.
we are engaging with
We
them
also
through other
realize when
means.
we interacted
We
with the
also
young people
realize when
that
we interacted
not
with
all
with
of
the
them
young
are
people that
interested in
not
vocational. As
all
a
of
matter
them
of
are
fact, most of them
interested
are
in
getting involved in
vocational. As a
drugs,
matter of fact, most of them
start
are getting involved in
outside
drugs,
taking the
start
marijuana to get
outside taking
inspiration for
the
their
marijuana to
singing
get
or the
inspiration
rap
for
or
their
whatever. So
singing
those are young
or the
people with
rap or
talent.
whatever. So those
So
are
the
young people
CTM
with
that I talk
talent.
about is not just an
So the
opportunity
CTM
for
that
us
I
to
talk about
go
is
and
not just
celebrate
an
with them or
opportunity for
them,
us to go
but
and
it's to
celebrate
scout
with them
those
or
who have
them,
talent
but it's to
and
scout
see how we
who
can
have
transition
talent
them into
and see
making
how
use
we
of
can
those talents.
transition them into making
It's a
use of those
long-term
talents.
process. It's going to
Which is a
be
It's
very
a
good
slow.
thing,
It's
ma'am.
a
Let me just,
going
okay.
sustainable.
to be
It's a
slow, but
sustainable
it's a
project.
sustainable project.
Okay,
So,
it's a sustainable project. Is it
so
something that you're going to continue to do even if you didn't win the elections?
I am one of the candidates in District 13
I
since
am one of the
2018
candidates
that
in
every
District 13
project or
since
every program that
2018
I
that every
initiated or
project or every
committed to,
program that I
I continue to.
initiated or committed to, I
Mhm.
Because
continue
before
to.
I get
So, how
involved
many
in a
persons have
Because
you
project,
before I
graduated
get
since
involved in a
2018?
project,
How many persons have graduated? How many persons can you boast of now since 2018 who have graduated and doing well?
this is our second cycle that we have run
this is our
in the
second cycle that we have run in the
training programs that we are running.
vocational training
We
programs
also
that we
have
are
had
running.
since
Mhm.
We
2018
also have
other
had since
programs as well. So
2018
is
other
it's way
programs
by
as
bit and
well. So
pieces because of the
you sweep
availability
at
of
bit and pieces
resources.
because of the
We
availability of
provided
resources.
scholarships
Yeah, so
across the
We
approximately,
district to
provided
young people.
scholarships across the district to
But
young
for the
people.
purpose of the vocational
But for
training,
the
the
purpose
total
of
number
the
of people that
vocational
have
training,
benefited,
the
this will
total
be
number
our
of
third
people that have
cycle that will start,
benefited, this will
is
be our
about
third cycle
500
that will
persons,
start.
and the
It's
third
about
cycle will
500
have another
persons,
500
and the
persons,
third cycle will
bringing
have
us to a
another
total of
500
1,000
persons,
persons.
bringing
But
us to
that
a
is
total
under
of
the
1,000
structured
persons.
of the
program. We
But that is
also
500,
have
under
some
the
young people
structured
that we
program. We
support
also have
outside
some
of the
young people
structured
that we
program.
support outside of the structured program.
okay, so of the 500, how many of them are disadvantaged young people?
So this is the second cycle. We're recruiting for the
So
second
this is
cycle.
the
I told
second
you the
cycle.
first
We're
cycle
recruiting for the
graduates on
second
the
cycle. I
12th
told you
of
the
this
first
month.
cycle graduates on the
By the
12th of this
21st, we
month.
start the second cycle.
By
The
the
third
21st, we
cycle,
start
so
the
we will
second cycle.
know
The
how
third
many
cycle,
disadvantaged
so
youth
we'll
will have at
know
the end of
how many
registration.
disadvantaged youth will have at the end of registration.
I'm asking you this question because of your, what you said previously, and you said as it relates to people who are disadvantaged. And if you have graduated, you just got 10 persons, then it means that it would take a long time before a lot of people. Is there any other plan? And you say there's so many ghettos in your district. What are you going to do as a lawmaker were you to win to get rid of those ghettos? And I gave you just 2 minutes to answer that
And
question, and I come back to Mr.
I
Chipo.
addressed that
And I
earlier.
addressed that earlier. I said I'm happy that the president has
into
signed
law
into
now
bill
the
now,
drugs law.
into
The
So we're
drug
law
going
law.
to
now, the drug
collaborate with
law.
the
So
DEA
we're
to
going to
see how we can
collaborate with the
eradicate those
DEA to
drug
see how we can
barracks from the
eradicate
district.
those drug
But we'll
barracks from the
also have
district.
to work to
But we
transition the
also
young people.
have
Because
to
the
work
first
to
thing you have to look
transition
at
the
the
young
source.
people. Because the
The
first thing you
source
have
is
to
the
look at the
existence
source.
of those
The
drug
source
barracks.
is the
I listened to
existence
Mr.
of those
Chipo,
drug barracks. I
and I
listened to
heard him
Mr.
talk
Chipo,
about the fact that
and I
most of
heard
the
him
drugs
talk
that have
about
been
the fact
discovered
that
in
most of
Liberia
the
in
drugs
recent
that have
time
been discovered in
are
Liberia in
in
recent
District
time
13. So in
are
order to
in District
transition the
13.
young people,
So
even if
in
you
order
take them
to
and
transition the young
rehabilitate, there
people,
will be
even if you
more
take
young
them
people
and
getting into it if we do
rehabilitate, there
not
will be
cut
more
off
young people
the
getting
source
into
of
it if
it.
we do not cut
We
off
understand
the
that at this
source of
point,
it.
because of the
We
economy of
understand
the
that at
country
this
is
point,
possible
because
that
of
some
the
of those
economy
that are
of the
involved
country, it's
in the selling
possible
of
that some of
drugs
those that are
see
involved
it
in
as
the
the
selling of
easiest
drugs
means to
see
get
it as
money.
the
We
easiest
have to
means
find a
to
means
get
as a
money.
community to
We have to
discourage
find a
them from
means
that
as a
business. That is
community to
not the only
discourage
business.
them
It's
from
just
that
in
business. That
recent
is
years
not the only
that
business. It's just in
drugs
recent
business has
years
become so
that
attractive to
drugs
people
business
in
has
our
become
district
so
and across
attractive
Liberia.
to people in our district and across Liberia.
So what is that
So
means
those
that
are
you're
the
going to
kind of
find? I like
approaches we
that, and
work
I
with.
want you
So
to
those
tell me
are the kind of approaches
Sorry?
we work with. Sorry.
what is the means. I hear you say we want to find a means to discourage young people from dealing drugs. What does that mean? Well, she's gone off again. Let me ask you about that. Do you agree with her on that?
Yes, I think we share
Can you come to the microphone?
similar view on the how we want to tackle the issue of drugs. I think, but what I didn't hear her talk about is the issue of rehabilitation. One way that we can go about, one way that we can go about trying to reduce the number of drug abuse victims in District 13 is for us to focus on the issue of rehabilitation. I think there are two major rehabilitation centers that are operated by some church, some churches. And I personally have been working with them to ensure that we can send some of these disadvantaged youth into rehabilitation. The only way you can reform somebody that has been affected by drug abuse is to send them into rehabilitation. You can tackle the root cause, but also you need to also focus on how we can get them into being meaningful citizens again in our community.
Approximately how many disadvantaged young people do you think you have in your district?
There is no fixed number, but I think if you were to, most of them do not like to come like on the main street. But if I were to give you an estimate, maybe close to 400 in District 13, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, there's
400.
Yeah, there's a lot, especially in the.
How many ghettos do you have in district number
52?
52 ghettos.
52 ghettos.
And you think you just have 400 disadvantaged young people
I think
there?
yeah, that's a realistic amount. I don't want to make the people of Liberia afraid of District 13.
Okay, ma'am, how many ghettos do you have? Do you agree that you have 52 ghettos in your district?
I know that we have more than 30 ghettos.
I know that we have more than 30 ghettos. Some of the areas that we call ghettos are like actually ghettos. They are like people selling in zinc shacks in their home.
I don't know what benchmark,
So if you add those ones, I don't know what benchmark this people do, but if they were adding all of those small shots and everybody else, I would think that that's an appreciable projection of the number of ghettos you have.
So the disadvantaged young people in your district, what will you say the number is?
But I think I think we have more than 400 disadvantaged
so you
young
have the
people. There are
ones that are just
categories.
getting involved
So you have
in
the
the
ones that are
marijuana
just
and those
getting
ones that do
involved
like
in
the
the
milking
marijuana
and
and those ones that do like the milking
sour
and
milk and stuff.
the
Then you
sour
have
milk
the
and stuff.
people that doing the spark and
Then
the
you have
push.
the
Maybe
people
those
that
ones
are
that are
doing the
doing the
spark
spark
and
and
the
push are
push.
not
Maybe
that
those
many.
ones that are doing
But
the spark
across
and
the
push are not
district,
that
at
many.
the first level,
But
you have a
across the
good number of
district,
young
at
people
the
involved.
first level, you have a good number of young people involved.
Okay, you heard him talk about, corporate social responsibility of the companies existing in your district. Do you have an approach? Do you think the companies existing in your district are doing well, or do you have a different approach to that?
I think we have a
I
challenge
think
with
we
the
have
oversight
a challenge
of the
with the
companies.
oversight
I agree with
of
Mr.
the
Chipo when he
companies.
says that
I agree with Mr.
we have
Chico when
had
he says
leaders who
that
will go to those
we have
companies,
had
collect
leaders who will
envelopes
go to
and
those
leave.
companies, collect
I have
envelopes and
one
leave.
experience in a
I have
community
one
called the Kanga
experience
Island
in a
community
community called the Kanga
where
Island
I had to make an
community,
intervention there because the
where I had to
company,
make an
one of the companies
intervention there
actually that the
because the
drugs was
company,
sworn in,
one of the companies
they
actually
built
that the
in the
drugs was sworn
alley
in,
of the
they
community in
built
Kanga
in the
Island. People
alley
had no
of the
access.
community in Kanga
So
Island.
they
The
had
people had
agreed
no
that they were
access.
going to give an alternative
So they had
route, and
agreed
for
that they
about
were
a
going to
year
give an
plus,
alternative route,
they
and
were
for about
unable
a
to
year
do that.
plus,
Every time the
they
lawmaker
were
goes, he
unable
comes
to do
back and
that.
breaks
Every time the
promises.
lawmaker goes, he
So
comes
they
back
had
and
to
breaks promises.
protest,
So
and
they had
I
to
joined them.
protest, and
And through our
I joined them.
intervention, they were able to provide
And
an
through our
alternative route,
intervention, they were
include the
able to
water
provide
and
an
everything
alternative
else.
route, include the
So we
water
have a
and
lot of
everything else.
companies in District 13,
So
but
we
it's a
have a
lack
lot of
of will
companies
or
in the
political
thing,
will
but
to
it's a
issue
lack
that
of
reward.
will or political
One of
will
the
to
things
issue
that I
that
have
word.
on my agenda to
One of the
addressing
things that
that
I have
is
on my agenda to
we
addressing
have
that
challenge
is
with labor. For
we
example, if you
have
go to
challenge
Semenko
with
and go to
labor.
other
For
places,
example, if you go to
our
Semenko and go to other
constituents that are
places,
working there, they either
our
underpaid
constituents that are
or
working
working
there, they
under
either
very bad working
underpaid
conditions.
or working on a very
I would
bad
want,
working
when
conditions.
elected, to
I
work
would
with the
want,
Ministry of
when
Labor to
elected,
have a
to
labor
work with the
consultant
Ministry of
assigned
Labor
to
to
District
have a
13,
labor
given the
consultant
fact that we
assigned
have
to
about
District
5 to
13,
6
given the
companies
fact
there.
that we have about 5 to 6
That way we can
companies
follow
there.
up on these companies and
That
make sure
way
that
we can
our
follow
people
up
have
on
good
these companies
working
and make sure that our people
environment
have
there.
good
We
working
also will be able to
environment there.
review the
We
different
also will be
investment
able to
incentives
review
because
the
it is
different
by law
investment incentives
that once
because
we
it is by
provide them
law
tax
that
benefits,
once
they are
we
supposed
provide
to
them tax
provide
benefits, they
the
are supposed
agreed
to
benefits
provide
for the communities, which
the
we are not seeing
agreed benefits
currently.
for the communities,
If
which
you
we are not
speak
seeing
across
currently.
District 13, you only
If you
hear about
speak across
scholarships.
District 13, you
But
only
most of
hear
those
about scholarships.
investment
But most of
incentives are
those
not limited to just
investment
scholarships.
incentives are not
They're supposed
limited
to
to just
invest in
scholarships.
infrastructure. They're
They're
supposed to
supposed to invest
invest
in
in
infrastructure.
jobs for
They're
the
supposed to
constituents, and
invest
those things
in
are not
jobs
followed
for the
through
constituents, and those
because
things are not followed
our
through
lawmaker, for example, will
because
want for that to
our
translate
lawmaker,
into
for
getting an
example, will
envelope
want
that
for
you
that
can
to
use to
translate
do
into
projects
getting
in
an
the
envelope that
community
you can use to do
and
projects
put
in
your picture on
community
it and put your name on it. So
and
those
put
are
your
things that
picture
we
on
want
it
to
and put your
intervene
name on it.
on.
So those are things
We
that we
think
want to
that the
intervene
companies
on.
can do more.
We think that
By
the
law, they are
companies can
entitled
do
to do
more.
more
By law,
and
they
will
are
be able to
entitled to
put more
do more,
pressure and with
and will
political
be able
will
to put
ensure
more
that
pressure
they
and with
through whatever
political
we have
will
signed
ensure
as
that they
Nigeria in
give
those
to whatever we have
2020.
signed as
So that's
Nigeria
my
in
own
those
approach to the
2020.
company and
Okay.
how
So
to
that's
make
my
it
own
work
approach to
for
the
the people in
company
the
and how
district.
to make it work for the people in the district.
Okay, let me hold you there. Mr. Chipo, you got 2 minutes. Do you have any other thing before we go to the lines? Do you have any other thing besides the corporate social responsibility of the companies, the school you're talking about, and how you're going to deal with drugs? Is there any other thing you have on your agenda for district number 13? If yes, you got 2 minutes to talk about that. Then we can go to the lines to
Thank
hear
you.
from what the people have to
Thank
say.
you. I think generally the issue with the safety and security of the people of District 13, I think is also another major issue for us. while we also have the drug situation. But let's remember, most of these young people who are disadvantaged and are affected by drug abuse, most of them, one of the way to manage their lifestyle is to resort to crime. So I think we need to do something about, like, the community called Chocolate City. We need another police depot there. Chocolate City has 10 blocks and there is no police station there. If somebody were to do something to somebody there, you have to leave for almost a long amount of time to go and find law and order. So I think one of the ways for us to address the issue of crime in District 13, which is very prevalent in District 13 as a result of our young people who are affected by drug abuse, is to strategically place our law enforcement people. And also, I've been talking, having a consultation with some law enforcement guys, and I think if we pass a law classifying most of our law enforcement agencies as specialized agencies, what will happen is we'll provide more support to them. Because I was working in the security sector. I'm a former sergeant in the U.S. Army. If you give the security personnel the support that they need, they will give you what you need from them. But if you have a situation where police and most of the guys who are supposed to uphold the law, they are the ones that are begging for here and there. They are not taking pay on time. They don't have the right gear. They cannot fight crime. Then you are a joker.
Okay, so you'll be calling for more money for the police, right?
For the police,
okay,
and our DEA people.
Okay, great. So, ma'am, I come back to you. You've got 2 minutes to talk about what else you're going to do for your district. Under 2 minutes, and then we go to the lines to hear from the people of district number 13.
So there are 2 other issues in the district.
One is the in the district I'm interested in. One is the issue of health.
There is no referral.
In District 13, there is no referral.
But we have 2 other clinics and pharmacies
that have been able to supply some health support.
When elected, we'll try to build a network.
When elected, we'll try to build a network of health practitioners, those clinics and pharmacies in the district. In cases of health emergency, there is a way that we can coordinate
before when Senator Joseph was representative here, we had an ambulance, but after he left, I think
that is one gap that we have.
So if your
family member
leave from here
to go to where there is a better clinic,
family or their condition become
either lost that family or their condition become worse. So that's something we need to look at. I'm also interested in the educational sector. I heard Honorable Chipo talk about adding another school, government school or public school. I think that is a great idea, but it's a long-term idea that we will help to have to happen here in the
I would like to see something that will alleviate
some of these high costs of parents.
Subsidies that are provided.
We know that there are subsidies that are provided for schools in Liberia. Is by law, the legislature provides that. We have had instances where most of the lawmakers that we have will subsidies for their own school, their private
elected, we will ensure that
and when we are elected, we will ensure that at least in addition to the public schools, there are at least 5 schools every year added to the government subsidy, so that it helps to overall reduce the amount that parents have to pay for tuition, because when you have been provided subsidies, when you have the basis to ask them to lower the fees, and what happens is impacts the life of more people, young people across the district, parents, as compared to just the one public school that will only invest maybe 3 or 400% until we could get additional resources to do an additional public school.
Okay.
Yeah, Mr. Chipo, a quick question to you. You talked about the establishment of the District 13 tax force. when you become a representative, you have three cardinal responsibilities. That is oversight, representation, and lawmaking. Now, you talk about the proliferation of drugs in your district and how you're going to tackle and deal, with the multiplicity of drugs in your district. Now, do you know your function when it comes to establishing task force? Whose responsibility it is to create task force when we already have the LDA, we have the police who's been fighting crimes and fighting those specific crimes? Do you think it lies in your ambience, in your purview to go about creating your own task force in the district? Do you think it sounds well, or it looks dictatorial? Do you think that?
Yeah, I don't think so. I think when you have a situation like what we are going through in Liberia, where there is pressure on the central government to do a lot for our people, then the issue of being very creative and being innovative comes about. The issue of creating a drug task force is nothing that is going to be, supervised by me independently. Like I said earlier, we're going to have the input from the DEA. We're going to have the input from the police. We're going to provide logistics, personal extra assistance from my office to ensure that the issue of drug is flagged so that the people of this country and our partners that we are working with to know that we are serious about this.
Your representation of the House of Representatives should cut across your district. Now, I am thinking that you should be even doing this in collaboration with your colleagues to ensure that drugs is not only fought within District 13, but within all of the within the parameters of Liberia. So if you are basically fighting drugs in District 13, what becomes of District 12 that is right beside you? What becomes of District 11? And what becomes of the all districts if they are not fighting drugs? And you say you are heavily fighting drugs. Do you think you'll be making a successful fight?
Hey, thank you, my brother. But trust me, I'm going to be the representative of District 13. Let me address the people of District 13 problem first. Then we'll start focusing on other districts. Those districts that you're talking about, they have representatives too. I will not be able to be a representative of District 13 at the same time solving problem 100%.
So, but you're fighting drugs in 13.
In 13.
And you got the multiplicity of drugs in 12.
Yeah.
So the people are living on the District 12 and they are bringing drugs in District 13. And you say you're fighting drugs in District 13.
Yes.
So how are you going to work on that?
We'll work
because you fighting in District 13, the men should be fighting in District 12, the other men should be fighting in District 11, the other men should be fighting in 15.
Yeah.
So if you alone fighting in 13, how sure that fight is going to be successful?
No, that's why we are saying that the fight is not going to be only the fight of the people of District 13. It's going to be something that we're going to see collaborative effort from all of our partners. Like I said earlier, we're going to work with other, especially those other districts that are our neighbors. We're going to work with them. Of course, we cannot effectively fight drugs without having the assistance of other stakeholders that are around.
But don't you think you're supposed to be calling for the increment of the LDEA and salary increment, the logistical, increment, the numerical, strength of these, different agencies to be able to, carry out these different functionalities?
Yes, if you remember earlier, I mentioned something about increasing the capacity of not only the DEA but all law enforcement agencies. So yes, in some kind of way, if not directly related to this drug issue, maybe I didn't say it, but I'm going to advocate for support for the law enforcement structure in this country. Okay. I think it's an affront to our brothers who are working very hard to not be paid on time, and also not get the necessary logistics that they need to make sure that they fight this war on drugs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go to the lines now and hear what the people of district number 13 have to say to these two aspirants from your district. We have a caller on the line.
Okay, we 0880 so we just go ahead with the calls.
0880-514-096, and you'll be live on Open Conversation.
Good evening. 0880-514-096 are the numbers. Good evening. Our line now.
I don't know what's happening. The calls are coming through, but then they keep trapping.
Good evening. Hello.
Hello?
Yes. Good evening. What's your name?
Yeah, Esther Ilava from Southern Police District number 13.
Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, let me say thank you to the learned.
What's going on?
Hello.
Good evening.
Happy New Year.
Good evening.
Yeah, good evening, brother, and good evening to Titi. How you doing?
Go ahead, sir. What's your name? Where you come from?
I'm from District 5, most of the country. The chairman for the one round federal president. Yeah. Let me say good evening to your studio guest.
Good. Go ahead.
This question goes to Madam Kupokfa. She said something that happy that the representative of all districts not doing anything. There's no development to show for it. Then I want to answer this question. She from the Union Party that bringing somebody who hasn't done anything for this country to be re-elected, to be elected as president. Why is it that she, because of the development of President, why she can support President we are and see better material for tomorrow?
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Good evening. Good evening. Hello.
Yeah,
Good evening, sir. What's your name? Where you come from? Hello.
hello, and
Where are we having this network? Hello. Oh my gosh. Good evening. Hello. Good evening.
yeah, good evening.
Yes, let's go ahead quickly, sir.
Yeah, my name is I'm Spain. I will join you from District 13 in Georgia Estate.
Go ahead, sir.
Okay, I overheard Mr. Chipo talking about the issue of disadvantage in our district, and then he made mention that there are 52 ghettos within the district and 400 disadvantaged youth. Well, I think that statement wasn't necessary. Mr. Chipo has to revisit that statement and know these things before he talk about representing, because these things are very cardinal and they are affecting our district. So he got to be on top of it.
How many ghettos do you have in your district?
Yeah, how many ghettos you think there are in the district?
Well, the ghetto can be 52, but the disadvantaged youth, they are more not than 400.
Okay.
If you take the ratio,
Thank you.
But I think it was just an estimated amount.
Hello.
Good evening. Good evening. Hello.
Call us on 0770-1926-96. I don't know what's happening with this other line. Good evening. Good evening.
This is Abby Brown, and I called for District 13.
Let's hear you.
I think I started being desperate for power, being passionate about the job he or she wants to fight for. But away from that, the two studio guests talked about the companies in the district social corporate responsibility. They need to first know the spending of those companies when it comes to their social corporate responsibility. Just for instance, in MECO, right? Because social corporate responsibility only goes to the four affected communities where they operate. Meaning that the lawmaker does not have absolute control or any intervention in that regard. So
How will you say that? How will you say that the lawmaker doesn't have any intervention when he is the lawmaker for the district and he's the representative of the people there?
So yes, it is. Because I was on one of those situations when the lawmakers, when they had issues, the committee had issues, the superintendent committee had issues, and the lawmaker went to meet intervention. And they made it very clear that we don't deal with politicians, we deal directly with where we operate.
So how do they deal with the people without the representative of the people?
And so the Liberian government in the poor and certain communities. But the lawmakers have been in ensuring that those communities are benefited.
Thank you. Thank you. Hello. Hello. Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Please go ahead. Tell us your name and where you're joining us from.
I'm Oscar Miller, original parent, District 13.
Let's hear you, sir.
Yeah, so the issue, my question go to our Chibos. According to the Terra, according to the Terra, every day he will fall, starting, he will be supported by him. The on the other side, is cooking, is there. The people of government, so they go shoot the issue and tell how they are taking the issue and who they start there will be paper. Thank you.
Okay, thank you too. That's one of those aspirants in the
Aspiring, yeah,
district there
yeah.
with that question. Let's hear this person. Good evening.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah.
My name is Tokon Mongai and I'm calling you from Liberty University. I have two questions for the two candidates. Starting with Madam Cornelia Cry. I admire that she said that she feels the suffering of her people and she is an advocate. But I struggle to believe how genuine is her advocacy because during the early administration when she had close proximity to the president, I'm not too sure if our district and if people benefited from that relationship that they did have with the president then. So because of that, I kind of struggle to believe how genuine and genuine is her advocacy or her interest in ensuring that she transforms the living condition of our people. Also to Mr. Chipo, I understand and partially agree with you that the current lawmaker in Edo Papifumo is contributing to the wholesale distribution of drugs in Liberia. But your own program that you outlined to ensure that we alleviate the fears of distribution of drugs or maybe to reduce the proliferation of young people who are getting into those behaviors, I'm not too sure that is a practical means. I do believe that
Is that a question or your suggestion?
No, I'm just providing the basis before I get to the question.
No, please go straight to the question, sir.
I'm sorry?
Hurry
Go
up.
to the question, sir. You don't have time.
Okay, so my question is, if we want to change it on the Edo Party from we should have a legislative agenda. What is key on the legislative agenda for which you want to remove from the Edo Party from when you get elected?
Thank you. Hello.
Hello. Hello. Hello. Good evening. Hello.
077019296. I think we'll have to use this line. I don't know what's happening here. So call 0770192696 and we'll take you on open conversation.
Yeah, hello.
Hello. Go ahead.
Hello.
Go ahead.
Yeah, this is a mutual talk. And I call from district number 13, precisely New Georgia.
Go ahead.
Okay, thank you very much. First I want to say a big thank you to the both studio guests. I think Mr. Chipo, I really enjoy your exposé. And most of the things you said, they are things that I know about. Either my sister and my little brother, who was in the ghetto, just graduated from your vocational program. So I was there and I saw how the program works. And today, my
okay, so you appreciate Mr. Chipo, right? Thank you very much for your input.
Chipo so much.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hello?
Yes.
Hello?
Yes, sir. You're live. Go ahead, please.
Yeah. I'm Mohammed Prosperity Sela. Akwa Ifon is so much Chivo Avenue in Bazotan, as well as lead Bazotan to Bilima community.
We're not interested in the road. Just go ahead, please.
Okay. Yeah, let me commend the honorable man in studio. I think in 8 hours with team of district number 13, we love them struggling to get someone like him, a man who has international connection, a man who has the education, a pretty master degree.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you. I still had a level grade school there too, so
very
you
pretty,
have a master
yeah.
degree. Hello.
Hello.
Yes.
Let me say good evening to you and to your studio guest. Let me say good evening. The name is Abba Kudikomo, calling from District 13, the civil village of the city.
Let's hear you.
I listen to the whole show guest and listen to them. Somehow I got some issue when people want to take people out of position and they say the person is performing somehow. You must come with sincerity. You must come.
Go to the issue, please.
Yeah, the issue is we're talking about people talking about rehabilitation about Zogo. But let me tell you, rehabilitation is not only for Zogo, it's for people that have attitude problems. Mr. Chibo in there, we're saying about rehabilitation, he was the one that disturbed at the president program when the president came to the district. He's Jack microphone for the president. We need to be rehabilitated first.
Okay.
We talk about people like
Okay,
thank you. Hello.
We'll address that.
Hello.
Yeah, good evening, President. And good evening to your co-host. My name is David Kalaba Wita, and I'm coming from the TV headquarters on the Babu Avenue to community. And let me appreciate our studio guests. You know, the issue of fight against drugs in this country is everybody's business. And that's why the president of this country, Dr. George Manning Williams, is taking a lead. And so all the lawmakers, the one that are aspiring to be and the one that are currently serving as lawmakers, we need to have everybody hands on deck to ensure that the issue of drugs in this country is dealt with to the full. Thank you for the time again.
Thank you.
Hello. Yes.
Hello.
Hello, sir.
Yeah. Hello.
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 Yes, you're live, please. Go ahead.
Yeah.
You're coming in broken. Just shift a little bit. Change your location a little bit, please.
Are you getting it?
Mm-hmm.
Are you getting it now?
You better go ahead, please.
Okay. This is Asana people. I think
Still not coming good.
We're not getting you properly, please. You're coming in distorted.
I said, my name is Asana people. And the Assistant Secretary General for Press, Publicity and Outreach. Can you get me now?
Yep.
Go to the point, please. You got 30 seconds.
Right. So, I just want to say a very big thank you to Mrs. Colino Kratopa. I think the representation that district number 13 needs is just in Mrs. Toba. She's one lady that is good. Her organizational skill is unmatched. And I listened to her articulating her vision for the district to the point that Mr. Chibo is accusing her of recycling for a street. And that is what happens when somebody knows exactly what they are doing.
Okay.
You speak fluently, you speak uninterruptedly, so all will accuse you that you are reading from the street.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, yeah.
Thank you.
Hello. Hello.
Yeah, this is William Brock, this is my team.
Let's hear you.
Yeah, thank you very much. One thing I want to let the students and the people in the studio there to understand that the issue here is I always want to understand the legislative functions. The first thing you must understand the internal reasons of what makes you to be a lawmaker.
Okay, you're going to understand that one. Hello. I'm taking 2 more calls and then we're done. Yeah. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening. My name is Isaiah Mumu, the National Motorcyclist of the Coalition of the Local Chief, District number 12 Chairman. Yeah, my questions have to do with the 2 experiments there because I heard them talking about.
Go straight to the question. Just ask the question, please.
Yeah, I was talking about getting rid of the disadvantaged youth and then the lack of security in the district 13 area. But then what are the criteria that you are putting into place that when she win the elections, that she will actually start to work on those things. I want to know.
Okay. Oh, final call.
Final call.
Hello.
Good evening.
I'm Nimati Lavot, Youth Council.
Go ahead, Youth Council, Youth Chair.
Yeah, thank you very much. I follow your senior guests and all our guests. Although throughout those so many things in this specific.
Are we discussing on the Flomo, yeah?
Yeah, I want to discuss the ghetto.
What then to go to the
Yeah,
ghetto?
go to the ghetto,
What
man.
about the ghetto you want to talk about? Hello?
Youth Council.
Well, I think the Youth Council said go off now. Well, I would guess you listen to the callers, and I'll give you each 3 minutes to respond to the callers.
So we can go to Madam Topa, then we come to you, Mr. Chipo. Madam Topa, are you there? You listen to the concerns. Can you respond to the concerns in the next 3 minutes?
Okay. So there was one caller who asked about our support to Ambassador of Wi-Fi. On the basis that they do not believe that he has contributed to like I don't want to spend too much of my time on that because to say that if you have not been living in Nigeria for the last the previous 4 years before CDC took over, or you have not been following the politics of Nigeria, I would like an opportunity to maybe come in studio and spend more time on that topic. Another caller talked about our work in the former presidential government and what impact it was to the people of District 13. The first thing I want to clarify is at the time that we worked in the previous government, it was at junior level administrative positions. Even though those were low level positions, we're still able to run mentorship programs in the district. And when we worked with the Ministry of Education, there were a lot of interventions that we did for our teachers in the district, especially when they had problems and went to the Ministry of Education and went to reach out to us. And during the time of our last scholarship, during the time of our last students from the district, some of whom benefited with this scholarship. Even up to now, we have still scholarship intervention. Even with about 2 weeks ago, we have a intervention with some of our students that are currently in the workforce. There was another question about what our plans are for the organization.
Are you okay? Are you okay with that?
In order to help up for the most of our young people, after they had agreed the second one was the second one and education is development of talent for these young people, so that after talent for these patients they have they have a contribution.
Okay, ma'am. So we take that. Is that your part? We take that as your parting comments, right?
You have to respond to the question. You have to respond to the question.
Yes. So I want to hear your parting comments now. Then we take leave of you, and then we come to Mr. Chipo. She's already
out.
Mr. Chipo, you listened to the callers, and I think there was 1 or 2 questions there for you. Can you respond? And you got 3 minutes to do that.
Thank you very much. Let me first begin by addressing the issue of safety. One of the callers mentioned something about the safety, and I wanted to say that one of the things that we've been doing to ensure the safety of the people of District 13 is by working and providing financial, logistical support to the community watch teams. I think providing support to the community watch teams remain very critical in our quest to ensure that we have a more safe environment. Also, on the issue of the task force situation that I spoke of earlier, I'm not sure if the caller understood my reply, but what I was saying was the task force will be there to provide logistical, financial, and collaborative support to our agencies who are already at the forefront of advocating for and fighting against the issue of drugs. So it's not that this task force is going to be the one running behind people in the ghettos and stuff like that. No, we're going to work with our partner on what we can do. Our office is going to be at the forefront to make our position known that we are part and parcel of the fight against drug abuse and drug trafficking in our district. Also, the issue of corporate social responsibility. Somebody said most of the companies they don't deal with representatives and stuff, but well, if they have not been dealing with representatives, they're going to deal with representatives now, because I think that's the reason why I'm asking for us to make it a mandatory requirement for us to have this company provide whatever level of assistance that we all going to know about. It's going to be in the open. It's not going to be envelopes handing to people under the table. It's going to be very clear, and the company will be reserved too. They won't have to be taking advantage of people going there all the time asking for their personal benefit. Last but not the least, the president situation. Some time ago, when the president of Liberia visited during his presidential tour in District 13, I was basically the only aspirant, even though I wasn't from the CDC, but I thought it was important when you have a situation where the president comes to your district as a stakeholder, as a representative aspirant. It was incumbent upon me to go there and listen to what the president has to say to the people of District 13. He wanted a second term. So at some point, when we saw that the program sheet revealed that everything that was going to happen there was going to be stage managed, people were coming on stage telling the president, thank you for something that happened in Lofa County. And we were there for District 13. So I spoke to the MC of the program, to him, the guy who I know very well, that, hey, we are stakeholders here. I see the opportunity for only people who are position holders in the CDC to say what they have to say to the president. But I think there are other views that we have, views that the president might not like, but he needs to hear it. That's why this is what we call democracy. And they wanted to deny me. So I called the attention of the president using my militant voice, using my military voice. As a former sergeant, there's a way to talk. There's a sound. There's a pitch that you carry your voice. And whoever is not listening will turn around to see who's making that sound. And that's what I did. And the president said, y'all get cheaper chance. If you watch the video very clearly, I'm not sure if my brother watched that video in its entirety, but I did call on you will see me in there calling on the president to say, Mr. President, we are stakeholders here. There are things that you need to hear. It's not so say one, so say all. There are critical issues that you need to know about, so that when you leave from here, you will have an informed view of the challenges that the people of District 13 face. I don't think that's a bad thing. And two, if you have a situation where a president is seated and you have all of the other people who are the EPS and all of those people, if somebody did something that they were not supposed to do, you'll be carried out from that place. So I was given the opportunity, just to make that clear, I was given the opportunity by the president of Liberia, who told the MC that you're allowed people to speak. And I told the president what he needed to hear. I did not hijack any mic. It is not possible for one person to do that.
Okay, your 3 minutes have expired and you've gone into 4 minutes. Thank you so much, Mr. Chipo, for taking up your time to sit with us this evening on Open Conversation to talk to the people of District Number 13. And I like the fact that the people of District Number 13 responded this evening. They called and they said what they had to say. And so we hope that other aspirants in the district also will have an opportunity. It's an open opportunity. Whenever we call upon you people who are aspiring for positions in your districts, make it your duty to come and talk to your people so that they know exactly what you have in store for them. We will be doing this with all of the other districts. There are other people in District Number 13 who we have not spoken with, we'll give you an opportunity. And when you are available, we'll still have you again to talk to your people. Thank you so much. And Madam Tukpa, thank you also for taking up your time to speak with us this evening on Open Conversation. We appreciate that. And trust me, we will give you an opportunity to talk about, the Unity Party on this platform.
She says we would like to come.
As long as you have, opted to do so. We want to have that discussion also here with you on Open Conversation.
It was actually a District 13 conversation tonight. Honestly, this is the reason why we told the people, make it your responsibility to ensure that you yield to the call, because the people are sitting, the people are watching, and they want to know what is inside of you to be delivered. So if you deny the opportunity, you're not doing it to us, you're doing it to your very self. Because if the people do not hear, like what Mr. Chipo and Madam Tukpa has just put out today. Some people didn't know all of the undertakings, the responsibilities they've undertaken in their community, in the district. So today they were able to inform their district about some of the things they're doing and some of the things they wish to do when they are elected. So this is an open opportunity. That's why we call it the Open Conversation. Let's have this conversation with your district, the country at large, and everybody can hear your platform as you are vowing to lead a particular constituency. On this note, TT, I'd like to say, Mr. Chipo and Madam Tukpa, I'd like to say thank you very much. And thank you so very much for taking up the time to be here tonight. I miss all of the, the Rick Maro and all of the bouncing and all of that. You made it your responsibility to be here. I really want to appreciate you so very kindly.
Thank you.
So back to you.
We talk to you when we talk to you. All of you who join us this evening would like to say thank you for your inputs via social media, on the radio.
From the east to the west, north to the south, let's come together as one. They say you're not there, we stand, the better we fight. If we not celebrate, we do it for you. Voila, you forget that. You from Lower Country, you from Maryland.